Thank you, ladies, for joining us this evening. I wanted to share with you a good friend of mine, two good friends of mine. Uh, One is Marlana. She will be giving us her story about how these Plexus products have transformed and changed her life. And Misty will give us a little rundown of the triplex and the three products included in that package. And then I will do a little deep dive into our new calming cocoa at the very end. And this should take maybe um, 15, 20 minutes. And we want to respect your time. And thank you for joining us. And let's get started. So, Misty, would you take the reins, my friend?
Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to give you a little quick overview of triplex and why it's important. So, a lot of us just don't know that our gut impacts everything, especially our health. So, over 70% of your immune system lives in your gut. And when it's out of balance, it can affect everything like energy, digestion, weight, hormones, sleep, skin, and also your mood. And that's where triplex comes in. It's a foundational system for gut health and whole body wellness. So these are the elements. There's three parts of triplex. The first part is our slim, and this balances your blood sugar, reduces inflammation, balances hormones, it helps with sleep, mood, all the things. Give this to a teenager and see how they change overnight. So that's the slim, and you just mix that up with water. That's the pink drink. And Probio 5, this is an antifungal probiotic that targets Candida overgrowth. This is the powerhouse of the triplex. It's amazing. And then we've got the BioCleanse. So as your body starts breaking down Candida and toxins, you need a gentle way to flush them out, and that's what the BioCleanse does. It's a gentle way to support regularity and help you feel lighter and less sluggish. So besides the triplex, I'm just going to share one more product tonight, and that's the collagen. This is amazing. I just mix it in with my pink drink, but you can mix it in with coffee, and it helps with all the things, wrinkles, fine lines, the appearance of cellulite. It helps minimize the sign of aging, supports healthy skin, hair, and nails, and helps with gut health also by maintaining the integrity of the intestinal lining. So it also helps with leaky gut. So pairing this with the triplex is so super powerful. You're muted, Lori.
I did not know that about the collagen. Thanks for that. Yes, it is a powerhouse. And I know it's helpful with joint health and skin health. All righty, Marlena, you are up next, my friend. Tell us
Okay.
the story.
Well, for those that don't know who I am Marlena Bruce. Um, I am under Lori. Lori has been my mentee, my friend, my all of it. So I'm so blessed really for her because this is why I have had the opportunity to come back to Plexus. So that was an easy choice for me. I had taken Plexus over 10 years ago, back when it was first um, coming around. The products worked, but I did not stay consistent. I thought, well, my gut, I've never really focused on taking probiotics or any kind of gut health. So I could probably try some over the counter stuff or do something that might have been just a little bit less expensive or whatever was in my mind. I decided to not take it anymore. Well, fast forward 6 years. We were living in the camper. I always tell this story because I'm not ashamed to tell it, but we lived in a camper as a family of five, and it was my birthday. And for those that have a family of five, you realize you don't eat out very often. And we had eaten out for my birthday, and steak was my choice. But there were certain foods that I would eat that did not like me, and steak was one of them. And on the way home, I am yelling at my husband to put some pedal to the metal because we need to get home. Um, Again, let me remind you, I'm living in a camper with 5 people, and there is no privacy, there is no barriers. And needless to say, it was an embarrassing moment and night. And that was the night I decided I was going back to what worked. Lori had been sharing on Facebook, and I knew, you know what? Those products worked in the past. I'm going to try them again. And so I did. I contacted Lori, I got started and immediately started having gut relief. The problem was I was not responding in the same way that I responded 6 years prior. I started having what we now know as detox, and it was not pretty. I did not feel good. I was super tired. I felt immense, just I remember my brain was not working. And I bloated and I swelled. I remember my ankles swelled like I was pregnant, and I thought, oh no, this stuff is not working this time, Lori. I don't know what's going on this time around, but it's not working. And she, with her ever soothing voice, gently reminded me, Marlena, you are undoing years of damage, and you've got to stay consistent. Drink your water and stay consistent. 6 weeks later, I did a turnaround. I woke up, I flushed it all out of my system, and I felt amazing. And you guys, that's almost 8 years ago. I wanted to stay on something that I knew worked. And so I did whatever I needed to do to provide myself with these products because they were so phenomenal. So fast forward, I am now in it. I'm loving the products. I don't have to fear, before my travel was even interrupted, I couldn't really leave the house unless I knew where the bathrooms were. Anybody that struggles with IBS or any type of gut related issues knows that feeling where you just cannot have freedom to do what normal people would do because you just know that at any moment you could have a gut flare. And unfortunately for me, because your gut and your brain are connected, I would get anxiety just thinking about travel. And that would then trigger my stomach to have an upset stomach. So I really lived in a lot of fear, and I could not live travel. I missed a lot of really good opportunities with my kids at Disney. I mean, I could go on about the stories, but the problem that I had was now gone. So fast forward, and I'm just going to share that little, Lori had invited me to a Plexus event. And to be honest, I love the products and I just wanted a way to get out of the house and have a girls' trip to Nashville. So I chose to go. And it was then at that event, I felt like I was at a women's retreat.
Sounds.
I mean, seriously, they were singing, like,
Hell yeah.
oh, Sammy, can you please mute?
I got him.
Thank you. So we were in Nashville and I'm listening to these women share about how they had received health relief and why would you not want to share if you have received health relief? And they had everyone in the room raise their hands if they had had some sort of health epiphany or health, concern that was covered under these new products that they were taking and how they felt and or even financial freedom because they were sharing things that actually worked. And of course, everyone in the room raised their hand. And I thought, wow, this is a community I really want to be in. I felt like I was at a women's retreat. I felt like I was home, like where I needed to be because my heart's desire has always been to help people. So while I was there, I vowed, okay, Lord, I'm gonna, I said a prayer and I'm gonna read this prayer because it meant so much to me. I just said, Lord, so much is going on personally and in the world. And I just listed a bunch of different family things going on. And I said, COVID is still spreading and killing. And then I said, but God, you have provided Plexus. It's given me a new gut, less anxiety to travel, and Christian like-minded sisters. Thank you for your many blessings. My heart is so full. So if this is a future for me, and my family, I give it to you. Speak, guide, and give me motivation and wisdom to build my business as it would bring glory to you. Your loving daughter, Marlana. And I prayed that, and I specifically asked God to show me. And I will say on my way home, I don't know if Lori remembers this because she drove, and it was Lori and her sister Rebecca and I. And my mom calls and she says, Marlena, I was at work and we were talking about, you being gone and everything and the products that, you love and everything. And she goes, I need you to call so and so. And I can't remember the name of the person. She goes, I just didn't realize how many people had gut issues and really need a lot of help. She's like, I need you to call somebody because, I told them that maybe you could help them. And it was that moment. That was the confirmation that I needed, that I was doing something that honored God and something that made my heart feel fulfilled and gave me a place. So with that, I will say that's when I really started being consistent with the pink drink. And with the pink drink, I saw totally different results that I had not seen with just the probiotic and the bio cleanse. I had started with some products, but then I had dropped off of the pink drink because I didn't feel a difference with it. But I said, well, if I'm going to make this a business, then I need to know that this pink drink has given me health relief that it claims to give so many people. So I started drinking the pink drink, and it was 4 years ago. And since then, yes, my gut was good. Yes, I was feeling all the gut relief, but I had not received the hormonal relief. I still had irregular cycles. I still had so many of the PCOS symptoms. And drinking that pink drink and regulating my hormones, it took away a lot of my bloating and my cravings. Basically, the probiotic it helped my gut issues, but the pink drink really is the one that ties everything together. And since then, I have had, regular cycles. I've had tons of hormonal relief. I've had I don't have a thyroid, so I take tons of medicines to kind of fill in the gaps for that, not having a thyroid or parathyroid. My levels regulated. I was no longer up and down. I wasn't on a roller coaster. It just kind of gave me an even kill. So with that, I then knew the triplex was it. Like that is your foundation of health. It regulates your hormones, it balances your insulin, and creates just a flourishing gut. So I'm a lifer. The people, the business, it's solid. And, just the fact that our company is debt free, it makes me know that we're not going anywhere anytime soon. We have been in the gut health business for 17 years. I trust their science. I trust what they put out because it works. And so with that, I'm a lifer. And I just wanted to end that and say, if you're struggling with gut issues, if you want community, if you need something that actually works, consider the OG Gut Health Company. And then I wanted to do a little PS because I have, since my thyroid and everything, I have struggled with my hair. And I was, going on this life health journey and started taking collagen before Plexus even had their own collagen. I had taken several different collagens. Some I felt a difference, some I didn't, some I couldn't even tell I was taking anything other than just a white powder. But 6 weeks in to me taking our Plexus collagen, I went to get my hair done. I go to her every 8 weeks. Now, mind you, I've been on other collagens for almost a year at that point, and my hairdresser looked at me and said, "Your hair is so healthy. Marlena, what are you doing to your hair?" And I'm like, "Oh, I've been taking collagen." And then I thought, no, I've been taking collagen for like a year and you're just now noticing the health of my hair. So to say that my hairstylist even saw within 6 weeks a difference between what she saw in the health of my hair. And so collagen has always, that's just my unashamed plug because I do love their collagen. I know my mom has shared several times about how she took it and then she was like, no, I'm good. And then she was like 2 weeks later, my knees are feeling it. Like I need the collagen back. Like my joints feel it when it's not there. But I did also want to say this is how I'm going to end it. That we just got this week confirmation that our products they compete on a global scale, and our collagen won the global makeup awards. So they give all these different things, and we did have the Glow Getter, which is a serum that we have that also won an award at this global makeup awards, but our collagen won. And so it's not just us saying that we have the best products out there. Now we have other partner or not partners, other companies and other, I don't even know what the word would be, associations, I guess, saying that our stuff is really the best. So thank you, Lori, for allowing me to share my testimony. And I unashamedly share it. It's been really life transforming. So
And you did a fantastic job. A plus. You did a fantastic job. And and yes, your story is amazing. I've traveled with you and I've heard you give detailed accounts of what it was like to be afraid to go anywhere because you didn't know when you would have a flare up and that, flying someplace, being on an airplane for a few hours was not even on your bucket list. So, and you're a great traveler. I always have fun and I always just give you the reins and let you lead because you know where you're going and what you're doing. I'm just
well,
following.
and I think about that. You think about the things that you miss out on and you don't really realize it until you're not missing out on them anymore. And then
Yep,
you're like,
that's
wow,
right.
I just went jet skiing in the Caribbean and had not one thought of, oh, where's the restrooms and how many hours are we going to be, doing this? Because I'm not going to have a bathroom. And oh my gosh, we're on a bus in Aruba and I don't know. I mean, you can't tell a bus driver to stop, and let
Yep.
me find the nearest palm tree. I mean, that's not reality. But for so many that struggle, and you can go down down the aisles and see, I mean, aisles and aisles of like
Mm,
chemicals to
Medical.
help these
Yeah.
people with their stomach
Yeah.
problems. And I think, wow, ours is all natural. It's just good bugs, good magnesium, bioavailable, fully methylated
Hmm.
ingredients,
They work.
plant-based. It's nothing that's going to hurt you.
Yeah, no, they work. They work. All righty. I wanted to do another little deep dive into the calming cocoa and ask you, why do you think it's calming? Why is calming cocoa calming? I know that somebody on here has a very favorite, this is their very favorite product. And I wanted to get to my page, pull this up, and give you guys a little bit of information. All righty, friends. Here's a quick peek behind the curtain of the calming cocoa. And I hope I get my words right because there's some big words in here. Okay. Um, first up is a little botanical gem in this, along with chocolate and stevia for the sweeteners. There's not many ingredients in here, but this one is a very simple product. That's what I like about it. But first up is a botanical gem, Selenium totorsum, also called Kana. Kana is a plant, a succulent that's grown in South Africa, used by the San and Khoi people for hundreds of years. Traditionally, they would ferment it and chew it to relieve stress and lift mood and make you very calm. Have you ever heard of the Mozart effect? Um, there's studies show that some of Mozart's music has a very calming effect on the brain and the body. That's the same thing that Kana does, this herb does. um, they would ferment it, use it to ease stress. They also used it on their on other tribes in Africa when they conquered other tribes, they would give them this plant and it would calm them down. They could take them on a long journey back to their village because it also has a appetite suppressant, if that's the right term to use for it, but it will suppress appetite and hunger. So their captives didn't have to eat along the way, and they were, um, I don't want to say sedated because that's not the word either, but they were calm. They were very calm. So today we know why, because they knew it naturally and traditionally, but now we have studied this plant, and it contains natural alkaloids that gently support the serotonin pathways in the body, helping the body to relax without making you feel groggy. So when people say, wow, I actually feel calmer, there's a reason. There's an ethnobotany and a real biochemistry reason behind that. It isn't magic, it's science. It's part of the plant, the constituents of the plant that have been known for many years, but now we are just coming into the knowledge of it. So the second piece to this little puzzle is acacia fiber. Acacia, if you know biblical things, acacia wood was used historically, Bible times. You guys can do a deep dive in that. Um, so acacia fiber is a prebiotic. It is from the acacia tree. I believe Misty lives in a neighborhood of acacia trees. She doesn't know the magnificent place that she's surrounded by all these wonderful acacia trees that you can eat. um, so the fiber, you may be wondering why they would put a prebiotic fiber in a hot cocoa. Well, because fiber has to do with stress. This fiber actually feeds the good gut bacteria, and your gut bacteria produces a surprising amount of the very same neurotransmitters that are involved in mood and stress response. So when your gut bugs are happy, your brain tends to follow suit. And the formula, um, this formula combines two worlds, the calming herb from South Africa and the prebiotic gut fiber, and it supports the gut brain axis. And that's why you feel soothing, comforting, and steady when you drink this. So, in short, Kanna calms the mind, Acacia nourishes the gut, and the calming cocoa makes it feel like a hug in a mug. I just love that. So, um, we have enjoyed you being here. Thank you for coming. If you have questions, reach out to us. We can get Marlena to answer some more specific questions. But thank you, ladies, for being here. I appreciate you so much. Marlena, that was a fantastic job. Missy, fantastic job. And thank you, Kelly, Melanie, and Rebecca for being with us. And we will see you on our next Monday Night Live, right? Bye, guys.